Hello, beautiful creative people. Kiala Givehand here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new here. So today I thought I would take you on a little journey into what I like to call my creative readiness bag, or maybe my planning go bag. I don't know, but this is my Delfonics carry pouch, and I love this thing. It's a workhorse. I've had it for several years, and I change it out probably once, maybe twice a year. I will just sit and reassess what's in here and see if the things in here are still what I'm using, and if not, I'll swap them out. But this is currently packed with most of the things that I use on a daily basis for my planners and my journaling. It has stickers, it has, I don't know, it's got a bunch of stuff in it. So I thought you all might enjoy seeing, or at least find it a great conversation starter to see what I have in my little creativity go bag here. So I'm going to, right now it's packed to the hilt. So I'm gonna unpack all of this stuff and walk you through the things that are in this bag. Thank you all for being here, and I can't wait to see what things you have in your creativity go bag. You can tell me all about it down in the comments at the end of the video. Let's do it. All right, lovelies. So listen, this was a very difficult video for me to wrangle in. And what I mean by that is there are so many things I wanted to show you in this video. I really had to make some conscious decisions about what would make it in the video and what would not. Those things that don't make it in this video will be in other future videos that we will go more in depth with those particular things. So for instance, I decided I had a bunch of journals and books and papery things that I was going to share with you today, but I've decided that that's for another video. So I've decided to keep those out of the video. I want to try to keep the video relatively short. I know that my videos tend to be longer because I have a lot that I want to say and share with you all. So sometimes my videos can become a little bit even out of my control. And so my goal today is to keep this shorter than my usual videos, but also still give you something to chew on over the weekend, and hopefully something that will spark your conversation with me down in the comments below. So we're not going to talk about journals or paper, anything like that. Instead, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I think help us have a really great relationship with our pens, our stationery, and all of these wonderful supplies that we love to go out and buy, but maybe don't always use. So I'm also going to be giving you different tips on how you might use some of these things more frequently, more consistently in your fountain pen journey, your stationery journey, your art journaling journey, your creativity your creative journal and your creativity journey. Ooh, that's a mouthful. All right, so one of my favorite things to have are things that I can add to my journal to have places for my pens and or other things. Like this happens to be a pencil. They come in various colors. I'll put a link below. They have this wonderful elastic on them. They're kind of like bungee pen holders, and they're great because you can put all sorts of, pretty much every pen I have. They fit in there nicely. They are sturdy. They're secure, even if the pen doesn't have a clip. And so these are some of my favorite things to have on my journals and to have on hand. I buy them in sets of like 10 to 12 so that every new journal I do, I just put one there. I like to have a pen with my journal, a pen that's dedicated to a journal. So these two stay with this journal. I don't swap them out and change them out. So this is always handy to have. These things also, I thought I had one that wasn't already out of its. I don't, so we'll just go with this one. So these are, you can get these by all different brands. but they just, this one happens to be a Leuchtturm. Listen, I may not be saying that right, but you all know the one I'm talking about. The 1917, the journals we all love. Yeah. So this one came from that company, but there are knockoffs. There are a bunch of different ones. This one's kind of like a leatherette, but you also can get them in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors, all sorts of things. So those are great because while I never do detach mine, I could pry that off if I wanted to. Like once this journal's completely full, if I wanted to take that off and move it to a different journal, I could do that. I never do. I just buy these in the bulk, by bulk. I buy them in sets, in bulk, so that I have them. I can just put one on every journal that I have. So those little guys are amazing. I will say I'm careful about which pens I put in them because the ones that are the knockoff brands aren't, the elastic doesn't seem to be as great, but it's still good enough. But I am still mindful about which pen I put out on this part versus this is pretty secure. So I always do a little shake test to make sure my pen's not going to slide out of there. And I encourage you to do the same before you commit to putting one of your precious pens in there that you will be very unhappy if it were to fall out. So those are the first things that I want to suggest you put on your list of things. Everything I'm showing you right now is in no particular order. They're random. It's random. I'm being random. I'm not going to try to force myself to do it in any alphabetical order or any order that probably makes logical sense. I just gathered up a bunch of things and I said, this is what I want to share today. So they're not going to be in order. Double-sided tape. Double-sided tape is my best friend because it's so easy. And make sure you get the kind that can tear easily. And one of the things, let's see, I'll use this as an example. One of the things I like to do with them, like here's a little sample of ink that I was playing around with. So I will just come in and I like to get the kind that tears so that I don't always have to have scissors on hand. Although scissors probably should be on this list and I don't think they are. But another thing that's on this list is a paper creaser bone folder tool. This one is plastic, not my favorite material to have in this, but it gets the job done and I don't have to worry about it. So double-sided tape is great because it's easy, it's less sticky and messy than our next thing that I'm going to show, which is a glue stick. But I love that I can just put some double-sided tape on and then I can make myself, I love to make little tabs on my journals. That's pretty wonky there, but you know, imperfect is perfect. But then I've got a little tab sticking out and that was easy to do without a lot of muss and fuss and mess. And it's just a little ink swatchy tab. So I use double-sided tape to, let's see if I can find a page in here, to do things like this. I glued down this little color card from a home improvement store. And it just has double-sided tape on the back of it, sticking it in there, right? So double-sided tape works great for a lot of things that aren't stickers that you want to stick into your journals for whatever reason. Double-sided tape is your best friend. It comes in all sizes from really thin, I think even thinner than this, all the way to really thick like this one. All right, so you can get them in all sizes. Make sure, again, you get the one that tears easily and doesn't require a lot, require you to have scissors. I already mentioned a paper creaser or a bone folder. This just helps you smooth things out if you are gluing things in, especially if you're gluing things to, say, Tomoe River paper or some of the thinner papers that we like to use in our fountain pen journals or as our fountain pen journals, because that paper can crinkle. So this is really great to smooth it out, especially if you're going to be using my next thing on the list, which is glue sticks. I recommend having two kinds of glue stick. One that says extra strength, because it will literally hold down pretty much everything. And one that is repositionable, because then this allows you to move it, almost like making your own sticky notes. You put a little bit of that repositionable glue on, and you can move it around in your notebook if you need to do that. So repositionable glue stick, repositionable glue glue stick, and Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength. There may be other brands out there that have an extra strength or a strong hold or whatever they call it, but this is my favorite one. This is a permanent bond, which is different than the repositionable. So I recommend having one of each, because you never know if you want to stick something down permanently in your journal or if you just want to stick it down for a moment and make it temporary. Speaking of tapes and glues, washi tape is another thing that I think many of us have. In fact, I have a whole collection of washi tape that I keep in this little container. In fact, I have a few that need to be put back in because I was using them. I also make my own washi tape. So these three have washi tape that I made on them. And so I like to keep washi tape on hand. I take it off of the roll. I put it around old hotel key cards, old credit cards, old library cards, old gift cards. And that makes it easy for me to find. And actually, I have found that sometimes I can get two of these in one slot. And that gives me double the amount of tape, right? So washi tape is great. This little thing that I have here came from a company called, I don't know if they are still around. I've had this for a long time. Foxy Fix was the name of it, but I have had this for a while. And this little piece, I don't actually know where I got this from, but I've also had it for a while, and I think it was like for business card holders. So that is my little washi tape holder, and also rolls of washi. So this just lets me have more with me on hand. I can just pop it into my bag and have more versus having a bunch of rolls. But washi tape is a great addition to your fountain pen and stationery collection of things. Since we're talking about things that stick on, let's keep going. Stickers. Just get yourself a plethora of stickers, right? All sorts of stickers. I've got stickers here from art friends of mine. That's from Cindy over at Junk Art. I'll put her link down below. I've got, I don't know, some of these are probably from Boho Berry. Some of these are probably from, this kind of looks like Diane Reevely's work. Is that her last name? I believe it is. And so this is probably from some sticker pad from Ranger. This is from Jennifer Stidley. She is the symbologist in my life. She teaches in several of the programs that I run. This is from Sarah Trump over at Wander Strumpet. And I'll put a link for Sarah. I'm not sure if her shop is still open right now. She, I think she had closed it for a while, but it may be back. I don't know, but I'll put some, right? I have thousands of stickers in my life, y'all. Like, I can't even tell you. I have lots and lots of tarot stickers. One of my favorite stickers is this one. It's like a little tarot card, but it says The Reader. I love it, and I'm hoarding it. I don't know where I want to put it yet. So stickers, lots of stickers for yourself, okay, to put in your journals. We'll keep going in the same, dropping things. We'll keep going in that same vein of things that stick on. This is another one that I love having in my stash. These are little library pockets is what they're called. Library pockets. And I love these because, once again, you can, I'm always making, I always need a good pocket. Let's just, right, you can put an inside pocket. You could also do it that direction and stick things down in there. But again, this is where I'm going to give you a 3-for-1. You got the pocket. The other one is, and I'll talk more about this one next, the other one is having clips. Hold your books for you when you're trying to do things, and then back to the washi, or to the what is this called, double-sided tape. Right, here's another beautiful use for the double-sided tape. just want to stick that into my journal. You could also, if you didn't want it to be permanent, you could use your repositionable glue stick for this. But anyway, I'm just gonna use this. I think you all get the point here. You can put these at any point in your journal, in the middle, on a page, in the very back for extra pocket storage for anything really. I'm gonna stick that there. So now I have myself a little pocket. I like to keep my offcuts. This is from my, this is some Japanese paper that I use to print on, and then I cut it down to the size that I want it to be. So this would be a great place to just pop those in. And then I'll just tear that off so it doesn't hang over the top. But then when I want to do a little swatching and check something out before I commit to that color in my ink or whatever, I can swatch on that. You can also put stickers in here, index cards. You can put lots of stuff. These little pockets can actually hold way more than you might think they can hold. So adding a set of library pocket cards to your stash, I think, could be a fun thing to do. So now let's talk clips. I love clips, and I have so many different ones that I love. So my absolute favorites are these Ollie clips, O-L-I. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've had these for a really long time, but I'm pretty sure this company is still around. They are magnetic and they work like a charm. So you can take a few pages, gather them up, and clip them on, and it holds. You may have even heard that clip sound, that little click. And so they hold those pages together. So Ollie clips are my all-time favorites. These have some really strong magnets in them. So they work really well, and they come in different sizes. I think there's even a size bigger than this one, and that's the smaller one, I think, the medium, and then I think there's a larger one. I think I have them, but it's in a journal somewhere that I don't know where in this moment. So the magnetic ones are great. These little clips I love. I just love the look of these. Like, there's nothing really like special about them. They clip just as well as these clip, just as well as this clips, but I just really love the look of these. And they have a good spring back, so they really clip. They're really tight. These came from Yoseka Stationery, and I'll make sure I put a link down for you all below. Big jumbo paper clips are my jam. I use them a lot in my bookbinding world, but I also use them in my stationery world. And then this little guy, I've had him so long. I love this little, but it's basically, you could make this for yourself, right? Get yourself a piece of paper that you really love, put a couple magnets on it, and you've got yourself. Now, this one isn't as strong as these magnets, but it has that same concept. And then these I love as well. And of course, tried and true, just regular old binder clips can work too. But I figure y'all already use those. You don't need me to show you that. But a regular old binder clip. And if you really wanted to, you know, go all in, you could get the big bulldog clips as well, right? But things that help keep your journal open. In fact, my newest acquisition is this Esther book holder from Esterbrook. I haven't even used it yet, but it's not a clip. It's more like a paper clip than anything else. But it is designed. This will be my first time using it because I just got this recently. I haven't had it very long. This functions like that, and it just holds that open and down for you, and I love it. Like, come on, you can't beat that, can you? I don't think you can. That's awesome. All right, so clips and similar things that help you clip things on. And before I move from that, let me also say, show you a couple other clips that I really love. Since we're pulling out all the things, put those. Those are fun. They clip onto everything. The magnetic one. So this is actually a really cool one. Let me show you how this one works. It's called a pin hook clip. And you clip that on like that. And then I'll just use one of these. I'll use this pencil. And then you just hook your pin right onto this. And so now you've got the paper clip, but you've also got a pin hook on there. And I think that's a really cool little thing. Again, this came from Yoseka, I think this came from Yoseka. Don't quote that. I'm pretty sure it did. But it's designed for your pen to just hook right on the front of your journal or whatever you're using. So this is another neat little clip to have. And then, of course, you know, everybody needs a good fountain pen shaped paper clip. Why not? All things will be linked below for you. I love these. I love to just have different shaped paper clips. And symbols are really big for me. So when I saw these, I was like, oh, these are definitely some alchemical symbols. I love these little hexagons there. So I thought these were cute. These probably came from like Joann's or Michael's or whichever one of them sells American Crafts. Who is that? Yeah, one of those companies, Joann's, Michael's. So paper clips. What else? These little index clips I think are also really cool because they just go right on the edge there. And again, they're just organizing things for you so that you can find and flip through things easily. So index clips are another really great one. Okay, I think that's all of my clippity clip things that I want to name. So I'm going to move those all out of the way. To the side. All right, a couple other things. Again, I told y'all this was a random order, so is having a pen rest. Now, if you're someone like me and you write with multiple pens at a time, then I definitely encourage you to have a little pen rest for yourself so that you can, this one's a little different, but it still, you know, it still works, holds the pens, lets them rest. This one I got from, I want to say Jonathan Brooks, the Carolina Pen Company, a long time ago at a fountain pen show. I've had it for a while. I think I have 2 or 3 from him. But things that, because this keeps your pens from rolling, it keeps them from getting any ink on your desk, table, whatever else you might have. So just really cool little things to have. You can get something like this, I think, from Amazon for like $8, you know. This one probably was a little more, not sure, can't remember. I've had it for a while, but pen rests are also a really great addition to your practice and your process. Can be a good addition. I love tabs, so anything that lets me put little tabs so that I can get back to things. Almost every journal I have has tabs in it to some extent. Like, it's just how my brain works, functions, and understands. So tabs are important. These already have double-sided tape on them, which I love. They're black, so I can write with, oh, no, they don't have double. Oh, you know what? These I made. I have a punch that punches them in this shape. And I just took some black paper and punched a bunch of them and put them in this little thing. I can't believe I forgot that I didn't buy these. These were homemade little tabs. And it was double-sided tape that came in this package. But just to show you. So I used my punch to create these with just black paper, but you could do this with any paper. I love to do it with jelly plate prints or anything you have. Scrapbook paper, turn it into, right? And then you can take your double-sided tape and do that thing that I showed you where you make a tab. And I love using black because then it lets me play with some of my glitter pens and because I'm not really a fan of glitter, but I like a good metallic pen or a glitter pen. And so once I do this little Studio Notes journal is getting a lot of love today. I just grab the first thing I get my hands on. So what I like to do is I don't want it sticking out too far. So I'll just put that down. And then it already has like a little fold mark. I'll just fold that over. Once again, not very straight, but imperfect is perfect. And then from there, I can, well, that's not one of the ones that does what I want it to do. I probably should have checked these first. That one does. But I can bring my white pen in. I can bring in any of my tools that can write on black, which apparently I have none in front of me right now. In fact, here's one that I know. Just rub that out. Here's one. Right? And so that way you can have a little tab sticking out. So I just made myself a bunch of these because I know I love tabs. And so tabs are great. Another great thing for tabs are these little sticky notes. You can see I pretty much depleted most of these because, again, I use them a lot. These are great because they are repositionable, right? So I can go, okay, not that page anymore. And I just pick it up. They're like little sticky notes, right? So those are also great. I like having a bunch of them in one color. Now these typically live in one of my disc bound, but you can also make this by taking any piece of like plastic packaging, which most of us potentially have laying around. If you've got happy planners, you have the piece that comes wrapped around your happy planner. Just match it up. Well, if you don't have this, you couldn't match it up, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these high equals that. And just give yourself enough space and then stick some sticky notes onto it. Some little, page flags. Okay. I know I'm going through these quickly, but I am trying to honor time as best I can. All right, what is left on my desk to share and show here? Stencils and templates are great to have. You all have seen me using stencils. I love stencils. I have stencils. So things that let you, I love this little square one because whenever I want to do squares that I would just want to write in, I can just use my pencil to outline that and then come back. So anything that lets you make like grids or shapes on your in your journal. This one has letters, but I think it also has some other, other things. This is again by American Crafts. So it's got 4 stencils in this little pack. And then these stencils I use a lot in my tarot journals because I'm often pulling cards that are rectangular shape because that's the traditional size and shape of a traditional tarot card. But I also have a few decks that are hexagon shaped. And then this one just has the same shapes but larger. And then this one is circular. These came from Jamie Sawyer, and I will link to Jamie below. She's an amazing reader, creative. She makes a ton of stuff. I don't know how this woman's brain works, but it is brilliant because this helps you if you're drawing out a spread in your journal. This helps you just space everything out and not have to, freehand if you don't want to. And if you're doing a mix of a spread, you can have like, you can have your rectangle, and then over here you might have a big circle card that you're using, and then maybe you have another rectangle card and a hexagon card, right? In Pulp and Paint, one of my signature courses, we do a lot of spreads where we're using different decks. So sometimes it'll be a circle deck matched with a rectangle deck matched with a hexagon a hexagon deck, right? So we play with that. But the brilliant thing that Jamie did with these is they are also card stands, right? So if I had small cards, I could put there, but also you can put regular size tarot cards here. I've always got a tarot card somewhere, right? So you can't really see it because I'm, you know, the angle, but looking down, but the card, this behaves as a card stand. So you've got your card for the day, you make your thing, you do your notes, you pop the card in, it sits on your altar or your desk for the day, you have it accessible. I thought that was just brilliant. So I actually bought 2 sets of these. One so I could have it like in my travel kit that where I, you know, take my stuff with me, and then one that stays here on my desk. So I will link to these below. These are amazing. Jamie is just phenomenal. She creates amazing things. So stencils. Also, have yourself a nice metal ruler if you can, because this metal ruler can be a godsend for you when it comes to, you can use like a credit card or a hotel key card, gift card situation with this, but also, or you can use it for what I'm about to describe. But I love having a little ruler that can fit with my belongings. Now, this one doesn't really want to doesn't want to separate from this. And make sure you aren't gonna lose it. But I love this because I love having a metal one specifically. The plastic ones work, but if I really want to get this thing right at the edge, having a straight edge that is metal is great, because then I can just tear it. You can also do what I just did, tearing that. You can also do that with a plastic key card, gift card, whatever. But I like having a ruler because I also can measure things. Like if I'm like, oh, I know I need X amount of, right? Like you can measure things. You can also make, for those of you that are like me and you like to have clean straight lines for things, you can use that for that as well. So that is my, I have like 5 metal rulers, so I hated to open this one. I was thinking I might give it away, but now that I've opened it, I guess I'm just gonna pop it in a bag and have an extra one on hand. All right, friends, we're almost to the end of my list of things here. I like great highlighters. Now, I have these, but I also, I probably should have said these. I have these, and I'll show you those in a moment. But I also love my mid-liners, mild liners. Sorry, I always say that wrong. I don't know why I want to call them mid-liners. Are they called mid-liners? Well, these aren't mid-liners. These are from Passion Planner, but they are basically mid-liners. Mild liners. Why am I saying mid-liners? I'm sure y'all are getting a kick out of that. And some of you I know are going, mild liners, Kyla. So these, they highlight very, very light, but with really beautiful colors, but they're light. So these happen to come from Passion Planner. I will link to them below. And so I really love that. And I'll go ahead while I'm here and say, you should also have yourself a good set of markers. I like water-based markers because alcohol markers bleed through. Tombow is my favorite, but King Art has a nice set of water-based markers. I like the dual tip so that I can have brush tip on one and a thin bullet sort of tip on the other. So these are great. Tombow, and then also your Passion, your mild liners or some type of highlighter. If you don't like those and you worry about them bleeding through, you can always use gel highlighters. These are really great, and I know for those of you out there who do like Bible journaling and things like that, these are great for that thin paper that Bibles have, which in my opinion is very similar to Tomoe River paper. So it works really well on that paper. And it creates a little bit of texture. It's not as flat and smooth as this. It almost functions like a crayon, but they're really great. There's no bleed through on them, just like there's none on those mild liners either. So having yourself some kind of really good, I just love the colors in this palette, which is why I have that palette, but highlighters and markers are going to be, I think, my last suggestion of things that you can have that might make your journaling and fountain pen journey just that much more yummy. All right, friends, you know I want to hear your suggestions down below in the comments, so please let me know. I'm sure there are things I missed that you're like, but Kyla, what about this? And what about this? And I have those things spread out over here, but I was trying to keep us condensed. I didn't talk about journals. I didn't talk about the variety of different pens outside of your fountain pens, like a good gel pen, a good roller ball, a good, pencil to use, all the things. So we'll come back to those another day. But for today, I think this is a good smattering of some of the things that you can probably right now walk around your house and source. You don't need to go buy a new thing, and you don't need all of these things. I'm just showing you some things that I think make my journaling experience more fun to come to. I get excited about coming to my journal. And when I look back at my journals, it gives me a lot of joy. So I invite you to find the things that give you joy and make you want to come to your journal and do more journaling. All right, friends, that's it for this Fountain Pen Friday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the lovely comments and messages that you all send me. Those of you who have gone over to Instagram and found me there and have been sending me pictures of your stuff because you can't do it here in YouTube. Thank you. I love that. Keep it coming. And I will see you in all the places and spaces that we share. Thank you. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your now. Bye.